Well, I'm gonna turn 30 in, like, depending on who you ask, anywhere between 6 and 20 minutes from now. And it's been a good 30 years, I would say. I'm very grateful for how my life is. Of course, nothing is perfect. And there's much to grow and much to learn and much to love and much to do. But I feel very nostalgic. I feel grateful. I feel happy. I feel sad about some things. I feel excited. I feel anticipatory. I feel concerned slightly that I might look back on, my 20s, whatever that means, and feel that perhaps I had lived with more reckless abandon. But I overall feel very grateful, and I feel very glad that I have embarked upon paths in my 20s that I wish to continue with great effort and care and, Lord willing, diligence and humility. Lord willing, diligence and humility in my 30s. And yeah, I'd say that's about the size of it. And it's really just such a blessing to make it to 30, there's so much hardship in the world, and to be, again, Lord willing, healthy and purposeful, and have people who I care for and who care for me. And I mean, there's just so much to be grateful for. And I know many people don't have those things that I mentioned to be grateful for. I wish to be of service to the world. I wish to make the world around me a little bit better. I'm sure I make it a little worse in some ways, and I hope I make it a little bit more better than I make it worse. And I wish to be part of the balance of the world, striving and growing and spiraling and expanding into a world where that balance finds more wholeness, more meaning, more self-evident justification, more beauty, more faith, more grace. Yeah, and it's not all about me. That's cool. I think that's a really nice thing. Like, no one really cares if I turn 30. I mean, people who love me are very happy and nostalgic and all these things, But, like, all these things of this world are, I think, something like stories or markers or signposts or understandings. And, tomorrow I will wake up and I will be 30 years old and I will be myself, Lord willing. Yeah, so I guess I wanted to just be a little creative tonight and make this video. And if anybody else is watching who has some birthday anxiety, I just, extend my own hand of perspective. And, it's, nobody really cares, like you're just carrying on. And, about like, oh, should I have accomplished this by this age or this by that age? Someone like Beethoven, accomplished so much in the world of music that it can scarcely be comprehended. And nobody really cares about Beethoven. I mean, he's been passed for hundreds of years, and, we listen to his music and it's beautiful. But we don't really think about him very often, and even if we did, I mean, he has passed away as well. Like, what, we're all gonna die. We will all fade from this realm and I believe expand into the next realm, Lord willing. Which is a baby, leaves the womb and expands into our world with us. But who knows, I certainly don't know. I have faith and I seek to have faith. Yeah. Does a baby feel self-conscious about in what way it's growing its limbs, exactly this day or time or place? It could be relevant for some things, for health and progress. But those things, those limbs are not, they're not, how much money you have or what kind of car you drive or what education you have or even how many friends you have or your love life or what you look like or the limbs of your life that matter, the way that the limbs of babies matter, the way that their growth of their organs and their heart and their eyes matter in the womb. Those limbs are your courage and your compassion and your faith and humility and persistence and grace and forgiveness when forgiveness is appropriate and love and charity and patience and to what degree you live from your heart, I would say. And what age you are on this earth, I think it's relevant in terms of our understanding of ourselves and our way in the world, but I think ultimately it's probably fundamentally irrelevant, at least in the sense, I mean, I don't know if that's fair to say, but at least it's not one of the things, it's not one of the features of a human being which is primarily expressive of the truth about that human being. It could be it's a linear way of marking a certain trajectory in this life. And so to that extent, of course, it's very relevant to our understanding of ourselves and of each other. But we also don't know to what age we will live. And so we don't truly know what portion of our lives we've lived. But it might give us, a general sense. And that certainly has its own emotional weight to it. But time is also, in large measure, what you make of it. Like 40 years scrolling on TikTok is, or let me just bring it down to earth here. A week in bed scrolling on TikTok is very different than a week alone hiking the Appalachian Trail, for example. A week alone hiking the Appalachian Trail in many ways is like an odyssey. It's like it's an adventure. And especially if you've never done it before, if it's something new, if it's a new variation for you, then it could be this expansive ray of light or darkness, depending on how it goes, but this expansive beam of experience that is a new form of your being, which stays with you and you can connect to and touch for your whole life. And a week scrolling in bed on TikTok is pretty much the exact opposite of that. Or it's very different than that in terms of our experience of time and of relevance and of expression of our souls and our hearts and our more true desires for the type of experience we wish to have, the type of growth we wish to pursue. And so I suppose on this, the eve or moment of my 30th birthday, I would say to myself and to anyone else watching that that our time does not pass in years, but it passes in, I guess, the way we are to others and the way we are to ourselves. It's really the way time passes. And so I hope to make good use of my time.